What the fuck is up? I don't not have a ceiling fan anymore, and I'm rather happy about it. I also have lights, so yeah. I got a smart ceiling fan that actually has a glowing light, and I got my strip lights. So you could say I'm a happy boy. And I got my doggo boy watching over me now. I used to have him out in the living room. So yeah, I figured, considering it was 5 years between the last time we did an update video, that maybe it's time we do another one, not in 2030, but in 2025, because it's been a freaking while. So yeah, things are a little different. I now have curtains, which is nice too. Made a lot of little improvements in a year. And yeah, you can see my fat ass in the mirror because I am a fat ass by any means. I used to be skinny, and I used to think I was fat when I was a teenager. But yeah, no, that ain't no denying it now. I'm a big dude, but whatever. Anyway, not gonna sit there and focus on those things. I still have this. Actually, I don't remember if I had this clock the last time I did one of these, but it changes colors. Now that's like it actually has modes where it does color changing, but I don't find that I like that as much. And yes, it is 1:20 in the morning, and my sleep schedule is fucked. But yeah, it does like different color change modes, but then it also just has different colors. And I really like cyan the most. I think that's just a nice bright color to be able to see by. Sometimes I set it to blue, but I tend to be on this the most if you were tracking it statistically. So yeah, I don't know that I've ever shown like yeah I gotta walk in the shower. Not that you really want to see my shower, but I guess this is more for me in the future to remember when you had a walk-in shower, because I'm sure I won't have that forever. But yeah, so that was kind of the thought behind doing this. I don't know that I have really a whole lot in the way to update, but I know the last time I made this a year ago, or 11, 10 months ago, I don't know, math is hard, about 10 months ago, or 11 months, I don't know. Yeah, you do the math. You got a calculator, bitch. Anyway, the last time I did one of these, I realized I didn't like that it had been 5 years since I had done one, and so I was like, I should probably do another one now while I'm thinking about it, while it's on my mind. Not that there's really a whole lot new to say, other than just showing off, yeah, that I have moved some things around, like I've moved that poster from next to the curtains to over here to accommodate moving my little boy in here. We got this Stanley Cup Champions flag not too long after the Blues won the cup in 2019, but we never flew it at the house. We had a different Blues flag actually, that we put up in the kitchen leading into the family room of the old house on game nights, and then my dad would take it down, after the game was over. But he went and got this flag, and then we never actually flew it. And so when I moved out, I was like, can I have one of the flags? And he gave me the championship one. So now it's just over my bed, because that is probably the only time I'll ever see them win a Stanley Cup. And I had to revel in it a little bit. And I was at least happy, too, that I got to see that with him, because not that he's in bad health, but you just never know. Some teams don't win a championship, like, ever. Like, I don't know, when was the last time any Canadian team has ever won a Stanley Cup? Or hell, Vancouver hasn't won a Stanley Cup in their entire 55-year existence. So, different little things like that make you realize, like, their priorities, So yeah, the colors continue, and I'm just gonna kind of let that be what it is, because I'm gonna revel in the fact I have colors. I actually all of these bulbs, all of these like bulbs everywhere are new as of yesterday, because my old smart bulbs that were SunGled had an outage Wednesday night, and this is now Sunday. Well, it's now, I guess technically it's Monday, but yeah, they had an outage, and they didn't really post anything about it at all. Like, there wasn't a single post on their Facebook since January, and that to me is like, okay, that's a red flag. And so I'm starting to think that this company is shut down or whatever, and their server's gone out, and for some reason their light bulbs are tied to a server. So yeah, I went and bought new bulbs, and I like them. They are actually bigger, so you can see it's like if you sit, well, the green's a little harder. You probably see it with the red. It doesn't. The colors are a little bit brighter on the camera, I recognize, but you can basically see the bulb, you know, poking over the tip of the light shaft there, you know. So that's an amusing thing. But it's only these two. I just need to get probably different tall lamps because some of my others aren't really an issue with it. But yeah, and I inherited a TV in the last 10 months, which is nice, and I've moved one of my computers out here to it. I also got this beautiful picture that I'll turn on that. Oh, you shut up. Oh yeah, I wanted to do that actually. There we go. So that way we actually have something to kind of keep my brain like not straying too much. But yeah, so I went to Pennsylvania earlier this year, and we went to like an Amish store, and yeah, I got this like pretty picture of deer, and it really is kind of like a little bit desaturated in color, but I kind of dig that there's like a tornado going in the back there. I think that's really cool. So yeah, my mom was like, why do you want that? I'm like, I don't know, I just like the look of it, and it's something that actually takes up this wall a little bit. So yeah, I still have J-Boy's stuff there, but I moved his picture into my room because it just made sense. I had this spot next to the curtains in my room for him when I got to Christmas, and I decorated and I put something else here. So it was like, why not just move him into my room full time? And this is a better thing for the spot because his picture is tiny, because that was the one my dad bought. And I recognize now that I'm looking at this through the camera, as much as I notice it in real life too, it's not centered. I'm aware it's not centered, and it's probably also not straight, but you know what? I have one eye. So I did my best. I was trying not to have to involve other people, and that's just kind of what you get in those instances. So yeah. But yeah, so this is a little bit of like me saying I am still alive. It's also kind of for me, and I'll get to that in a moment, but it's kind of for me to say too to myself, like, I want to reclaim my YouTube channel. I had defined it as a space for me to just do shit randomly when I was young and kind of as a hobby, and then I kind of repurposed my YouTube channel for all the Easy Muse stuff, which I maintain that I enjoyed doing that for other people, but that turned my hobby more into like a chore or work, like being literal. And I recognize that I don't really want to do that anymore. Like, I'm glad all those videos are up and people have all their stuff, you know, in a kind of like a hall of fame like that. And I do still have an idea for something I want to do related to Easy Muse, even though I have some unfinished work that I can't necessarily access right now. But I'm just sitting here and drink like half a water bottle in one swig. So yeah, the burps are just going to be what they are. I'm not going to cut them out this time. But yeah, so I do have ideas for things I want to do. The thing is getting to do those things has proven a little bit challenging lately. So this is another one that I got in that Amish store, and this one's like made of wood. You can kind of see the little line divots, but yeah, this is like right on wood. I don't know if it's protected in any facet. Yeah, house with the sound. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, you know, I don't care. That could be a church. It probably is a church, but like, you know what? I'm not religious. I'm very much actually anti-religion. I'm okay if people are spiritual, but I don't like organized religion. But I love this picture. It's gorgeous. I mean, the shading of the sun, basically the sunset, if you will, and all the details on the trees. It's like, this is just a gorgeous freaking image. So yeah, props to this Billy Joseph something. It's kind of hard to read even through a camera that's magnifying it, but either way, yeah, this I'm assuming dude, hell of an artist. So yeah, just little things to kind of spruce it up, you know. I wanted a couple other pieces that I could have out here during the day. So nothing nothing really new in the bathroom other than, yeah, I moved that clock in here. So I think I did have these clocks this way, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that was the old one. That was the old one that used to be in my bathroom technically in 2022 or whatever once we remodeled the old house. But yeah, I never use this bathroom. It's supposed to be for guests, other than that trash can. That's just my lint from the dryer. But yeah, I have more colors. I have more. Got a second ceiling fan for the office, and have a equal set of strip lights in here. So yeah, I'm kind of digging it. I've also picked up Spotify, so now I have all of my Echo devices actually playing decent freaking music. Well, being able to play it throughout the whole home is really more the issue. And I should have a new one of these bad boys coming by Friday. That's actually not going to be laminated, so I'm kind of happy about that. But yeah, so this is my sort of like, for me, to reclaim a bit of myself, to reclaim a bit of, I always talked about, I had all these things I wanted to do. I wanted to create, and I wanted to get back into doing YouTube stuff when I moved out. And then I've been moved out for a year and change. It's been a while, and have I done shit? No, not really yet. I haven't really done anything, and I want to do something about that. I want to like get back into the swing of it. It's just a matter of finding that rhythm again. Some of it is having the ideas too, and I recognize I don't have as many as I used to, but at the same point, who am I trying to impress? I'm not trying to impress anybody, you know? I'm trying to get, like, the whole last year I consider a mulligan for the fact of first time moving out, trying to learn to take care of myself, trying to get comfortable being myself again, because I think I honestly was morphing into someone else, you know, living at home and just the expectations that go along with that and all that. And that's not to say anything bad about my folks, but it's just a matter of like, you kind of end up having to stuff part of yourself away a little bit. And so this past year has been, yeah, trying to figure out who I am and reclaim some of who I am. Figure out who I am, rather. Reclaiming, I think, is coming secondary, because, yeah, like I say, trying to actually take care of myself has been its own interesting situation. And, yeah, there's something else that's on my mind, and I don't want to say it right now, because I'm still not really sure about it, but we'll see in a couple of months. I'm getting a couple of things looked at, and yeah. So I don't know. I don't really know who I'm saying this to. I guess I'm thinking the whole thing I look back through all these update videos, as I realized too, is like over time they went from being a little bit more they were always like, I had some kind of expectation that I had stuff to do and I wasn't doing it, because I would set out with some project in mind, or I'd set some extraordinary like goals, and then I wouldn't do them as soon as I made the plan of it. And I recognized that over time it needed to be less about me making plans and more just going with the whim of things. But when I first made a YouTube, it was about like showcasing creative shit that I did, and not necessarily worrying about it being who saw it, you know, not worrying about who saw it or how many people saw it, because I don't care. I'm not meant to be a big, you know, fancy content creator. That's never been my purpose. That's never been my drive. I consider my YouTube to be like a personal portfolio, an identity of some sort, you know, and a free space of expression. And I lost that somewhere along the way. And now it's just trying to get back to figuring out how I do that now and how I make that work. So like I say, I have ideas, trying to get the motivation to actually go through with them. I know once I do a couple, then it will probably start rolling from there. It's just getting back and getting my feet wet. I recognize too that I'm one of those people that I'll start a project and my perfectionism will take over, and I'll get like really grandiose about what I need to do, in terms of like the depth and doing it right and regularity and some kind of performance that goes along with, you know, how it's supposed to look for folks or whatever. But I'm trying to strip a lot of that away, and all I want to get back to is making content for myself. Content for the fact of like, I want to be able to look back on this shit in 2040, 2050, 2060, if YouTube's still there. Granted, I keep copies of all my videos anyway, at least dating back to when I started using the capture card in like 2013. A lot of 2012 is just on YouTube, and I'll probably need to honestly archive them at some point in terms of like record keeping, not necessarily take them down. I never take anything down, but I want to look back on this in like 30, 20, 30, 40 years and be able to see where I was right now. And honestly, when I look back at some of the shit and some of the updates that I did around 2012, 2013, 2014, I look back at that shit now and I laugh, because it's like, oh, how simple it was, how complicated I thought everything was, and it wasn't. And everything is relative, and it's a way to remind yourself that, hey, you didn't actually have shit as bad, you just thought you did. And to kind of ground you in the moment and realize, hey, it's probably not that bad right now, it's just relative, and 20, 30 years from now, you'll look back on this moment and think, man, this is a piece of cake, what the fuck was I bitching about, And so, but yeah, it's kind of like a personal archive for me, and that's what I want to get it back to. I want to get back to having my own creative space for me, and just kind of seeing where that goes, and kind of like having that online portfolio. So like I say, some of the ideas that I have, I don't think anyone else other than me 20 years from now will probably want to watch. And I think that's the beautiful thing of it. That's what I should be allowed to do, is have that kind of freedom to do those things if I want, and not worrying about expectations anymore. And I've always been a person that overthinks, so I will still have some expectations for myself, but I'm trying to work on letting those go. And I think that's been a hindrance to why I don't create as much, because I have those expectations for myself. I started out fucking making YouTube videos with pointing my phone at a TV screen, and just recording shit that I did on FortressCraft or on EasyMuse with my phone, and it was dog shit quality, but it was the best I could do. And I worked this part-time job I had to try and get better equipment, get a capture card, get a laptop, eventually got a mic. Not that I really ended up using it for the purposes that I thought I would. I always wanted to do skits. I wanted to make a machinima. It wasn't going to happen. That takes multiple people, and I didn't really have that in me to explore myself. And then that kind of died off anyway once I got older. But there are things I could do, and I don't have to like be perfect, I don't have to reach the same standards that I hit when I was at my peak of this 20 years ago, in 2019, 2018, when I was just cranking out videos left and right. Granted, a lot of them were EasyMuse, and it was, cookie cutter shit. But even with the FortressCraft World Tours, like that actually was a lot of editing that I did, and it was glorious, but it took time, and I could still probably do it. I wouldn't, maybe it would probably be more of a struggle now because I'm not in the rhythm, but why does that stop me from going through with these things now? I still have the ideas, I still want to make the shit and put it out there. So why do I struggle so much to actually execute the ideas that I have? I don't know. And that's something I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to I don't know. Trying to figure out my brain. My brain is something different. I'm starting to accept that and recognize that. And recognize that maybe it's not as different as I think it is from certain groups of people, if you catch my drift. If anybody has watched this far into this, because I realize I'm already at about 20 minutes. And all I've done is basically ramble for 20 minutes. But that's what I do best. I do my best at rambling. Yeah. So I think that's something too. Honestly, I look back through some of the old update videos, and I recognize there was a time where all I just kind of did was riff and just kind of talk. And sometimes it wasn't about having a plan. Sometimes it was just a, yeah, sorry I haven't posted anything in a while, to who the fuck that was supposed to be for, I don't know. But it was kind of like sometimes it was a chance to show off music. Now, of course, YouTube is like, gets all bitchy if you have music on in the background. I'm trying to, at least right now, showcase a band that doesn't probably hit the content ID match in Eldest 11, who is by far one of the best unknown bands I've ever found. They have 10 albums, and they're all like the progression album to album is phenomenal, and yet like they have what, 2,000, 3,000 followers. I mean, they're amazing, and nobody knows who they are. And I think that's some of it too, man. That's like, I have all these I have things that I'm interested in, and I could honestly make stuff for YouTube, like about music, about the TV shows that I've watched. And that's not to say I want to copy other people's format or anything, but it's like, I want to redefine what my YouTube is. I don't want it to just be easy new shit. I don't want it to just be video games. I don't really play a whole lot of video games other than fucking around on GTA 5 and Rocket League. And I don't even really play Minecraft unless I have friends that are wanting to do it, because if I play Minecraft, I will lose time. Like, time just disappears when I play Minecraft. Oh, 6 hours just went by. Yeah, I guess I'm hungry. Or I guess it's 4 in the morning and I should probably go to bed, you know, shit like that. So I don't play Minecraft unless I have somebody I'm playing it with that once they log off, I log off, and it's like an accountability thing at that point. Because I will lose time in that game. I love that game to pieces. And that's someone who used to think it was crap and would only rep Fortress Craft, right? I do maintain Fortress Craft had really good music. Didn't have better music, but it still had really good music. But in hindsight, yeah, Fortress Craft was not the greatest game I'd ever played. It was relative to its time, but it set the stage for me to get into Minecraft and actually really enjoy the survival angle of that. I definitely struggled with creating on Minecraft in terms of like a creative world, but I don't know. I still enjoy building the house, you know, and the intricacies there, and I wish this apartment had a trap door somewhere, you know, like one of those little 2-foot tall doors that like leads into a secret room. I'd love some shit like that, but yeah. You know, what are you going to get in an apartment complex? Anyway, the fuck was I saying? Something about, yeah, I'm not trying to have expectations. I'm not trying to do this for anybody but myself going forward. And I think I still reserve the right to hey, you know, I don't like doing an update video after another update video. Like, I've done this before. I personally don't like it. I always kind of feel like I should have something on the way. I should have something that, like last year, I didn't make that update video until I got the website done, and I started that website the year before. So I waited to do update 25 from like September of 2023 until August of 24. And this time I thought, well, I could make this, but I don't really have much to say. And then here I am talking for almost 25 fucking minutes. And I realize a little bit, it's like, you know, I probably end up doing this rambling because I don't do these that often anymore. So I feel like I have a lot to say, and I ramble, and I talk really fast because I'm trying to get it all in and not make a 42-minute video. So I think that's the thing I might do going forward. These might be a little more frequent. Me riffing mostly for myself might be a little more frequent. I don't know. I definitely don't want this to be the only one of these I do this year, even if there's nothing really important to say. It's just it's for me to put something up there. It's for me to continue to add to the catalog that is this YouTube channel, and to still stay in that mindset of I'm more than just work. I'm more than just the simple day-to-day. I need to be getting this shit out of myself. This is sounding a lot like therapy or something right now, right? But I need to get this out of myself. I need to do this more often, even if it's just this, even if I'm not releasing something or talking like, you know, some plan. I don't need plans. I just need to do shit. And I think if I put this together and put this on YouTube, that maybe this will encourage me to actualize one of my ideas in the short term, like in the next few weeks or months. Because I mean, I've got everything I could possibly want. I've got my office, I've got the freedom to make a video at 2 in the fucking morning almost, and play music out loud and not have to be constrained to headphones. And I've worked and I've earned this over the last few years, and I need to start reaping the fucking rewards before it's too late, you know? Before something changes, something happens, the other shoe drops. I need to own the moment and fucking go with it. And I mean, obviously easier said than done, right? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. If I don't end this now, I might just keep talking to myself. But you know, and that's maybe something I should do sometime. Maybe sometime I'll just make a fucking live stream and just riff, and that way I just talk to the internet for who knows? Maybe until I get exhausted by it. And just let that be what it is, and then I'm not editing anything, and it's just free flowing and it's raw. I don't know. I really don't know. There's the part of me that's like, as I'm making this video and I'm rambling, I'm like, do I really want to post this? But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna because I need to stop performing on YouTube. I need to stop trying to be cool. I need to stop trying to be something I'm not. I need to just be fucking weird again, you know? I think back to, what was it, update number 2, and I cringe at some of what I said when I was 16, you know? And yet, was I happier? Maybe I was. I know when I was 16, I was probably a bit depressed because my grandfather just died, like, related to update number 2. I was probably, like, still kind of battling the grief and just trying to happy my way through it or humor my way through it. But anyway, yeah. I want to get back to the me that I see in those videos, or here, because I didn't show my face in those videos. And at some point, I want to get back to actually doing that too. I know, you know, my face looks like a fucking railroad mat, but I want to get back to, like, I don't know, just being in front of the camera a little bit and not being scared about it, not being nervous about it. Just fucking exist. Because someday I won't have this. So yeah. I don't know. That's just some shit on my mind. And I figured, why not just ramble in a YouTube video and kind of walk around the place so I can see how much I've done in just 10, 11 months and recognize, you know what? I'm fucking making it. Ain't pretty, ain't perfect, but nobody's perfect. And I'm making it. So anyway, yeah, that's all for now. Bye, world.